Link down below as always if you want to read this on your own. New feature, ray tracing support has been added to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC versions, and the ray tracing can be activated in the settings menu. PS5 and Xbox Series S and X, game options, ray tracing. And then for PC, just go to graphics and then ray tracing quality. Please note that the performance, such as frame rate and resolution, may be impacted while playing with ray tracing on. The minimum recommended technical specs to use ray tracing can be found at the end of the patch notes. Speaking of ray tracing, I'll be honest, in most games I've played, I rarely ever see the difference. Sometimes I do, and then sometimes it's like I don't. I think it's title-based in some ways. PvP exclusive balance adjustments. The adjustments in this section do not affect single player or co-op play. Okay? The inescapable frenzy, incantation power, and grab ankle have been increased. The lifesteal fist, skill power, range, and grab ankle have been increased. Decreased the power of two-handed jumping attacks. Decreased the power of heavy running attacks with fist and claw weapon types. Decreased the power of the founding rain of star spell. Decreased the spell enhancement effect of the Terra Magica spell. Decreased the damage of the poise damage of the wave gold skill when hitting an opponent over a certain distance, as well as the effectiveness of the determination and Royal Knight's resolve skill, as well as decreased, everything is decreased here. Decreased the effects of contagious fury skill of the jellyfish shield, effectiveness of the claw talisman, effectiveness of the Lord of Blood's exaltation talisman. The attack power buff granted by the white mask head armor has been decreased, as well as the jumping attack damage buff granted by the raptor's black feathers armor, as well as the damage buff granted by magic shrouding cracked tier, flame shrouding cracked tier, lightning shrouding cracked tier, and holy shrouding cracked tier when activated with the flask of wondrous physics. Physic, whatever. General balance adjustments. Added an invisibility window when respawning in the Colosseum. Increased the scaling of the following attributes when infusing weapons with certain ashes of war. Magic, fire, flame art, lightning, sacred. Increased the attribute scaling of the following weapon types. Colossal sword, great axe, hammer, flail, great hammer, colossal weapon. Increased the speed, range, and recovery time of some attacks for the following weapon types. Great hammer, great axe, great sword, curved great sword. Flail weapons changes, increased the speed of some attacks, reduced attack recovery time. Increased poise when using two-handed attacks. Increased running attack speed and reduced attack recovery time for the following weapon types. Straight sword, curved sword, katana, twin blade sword, axe, hammer, halberd. Increased the first attack speed for the following weapon types. Straight sword, curved sword, whip. Increased the speed of guard counters for the following weapon types. Straight sword, great sword, colossal sword, great curved sword, katana, twin blade sword, axe, great axe, flail, great hammer, spear, great spear, halberd. Reduced the attack recovery time for whip weapons. Increased the damage of claw weapons. Added holy damage and faith scaling to the great club. Increased damage negation when blocking holy damage and decreased damage negation when blocking damage from other affinities, such as the back of my hand upside your head if you give this video a thumbs down. Increased the effectiveness of the twin blade talisman. Slightly reduced rolling travel distance for light equipment weights. Decreased the hitbox size for some attacks of the following weapon types. Thrusting sword. Heavy thrusting sword. Don't ask me what that was. Spear, great spear, halberd. Ashes of war adjustment. Lifesteal fist, increased target grab range. Surge of faith, increased projectile generation speed. Flame spit, increased the guard speed and blocking amount of the skill, adjusted the angle of the fireball. Tongues of fire, increased the guard speed and blocking amount of the skill. Great oracular bubble, increased the projectile generation speed and reduced the recovery time. Viper bite, reduced the time before rolling as possible after using the skill. Shriek of Milos, increased close range poise damage. Spear Call Ritual, increased projectile generation speed. Curse Blood Slash, increased projectile generation speed and reduced the recovery time. Gold Breaker, reduced the recovery time. I Command Thee Kneel, increased the attack generation speed. Starcaller Cry, increased the speed of follow-up attacks. Spinning Wheel, increased attack generation speed. Added a roll and heavy attack cancel timing while using the skill. Bug fixes. Fixed a bug where the Scarlet Rot status buildup was not properly reflected when giving the Anspur Rapier a cold affinity, or where the Scarlet Rot status buildup was not properly reflected when giving the Rotten Great Axe a blood affinity, or where some attacks of the Partisan Death Ritual Spear and Lucerne had unexpected physical attack scaling, or where the Knight Rider Glaive did not increase the damage of horseback attacks, or where the Duelist Great Axe and Rotten Great Axe did not increase the damage of charge attacks, or where the Roar Medallion Talisman effect didn't increase the power of some incantations, or a bug that reduced the power of some of the skills while under the Golden Vow effect, or that caused the effects of Determination and Royal Knight's Resolve skills, when cast from a left-handed weapon, to be added to other skills casted with the right-handed weapon, as well as a bug that reduced the critical hit power of right-handed weapons while having Determination of Royal Knight's Resolve active on the left-handed weapon, or where status build-ups were unintentionally added to some weapon skills, or where the power and special effects of left-handed weapons could be added to a skill cast with a right-handed weapon, a bug that caused an equipped sacrificial twig to be consumed when a player died in a Colosseum. All these have been fixed, as well as the camera positioning when respawning in the Colosseum, or where a player could receive credit for a kill in the Colosseum when dying due to the death status effect instead of the player who inflicted the status effect. Improved stability in Colosseum matchmaking. Fixed a bug related to level correction when an invader used the Phantom Bloody Finger. You'll have a bloody thumb because I'll bend it in half, twist it, and break it off if you give this video a thumbs down. Fixed a bug that could cause disconnections with other players in certain locations during multiplayer. Improved online multiplayer stability. PS4 fixed a bug that could occur when using the Finger Severer on summoned NPCs while offline. That could cause the game to crash, as well as a bug related to some enemies not rendering or behaving as expected. Several performance improvements and other bug fixes. Ray tracing technical specs minimum. Obviously, this is for PC. Operating system, Windows 10 processor, excuse me, Intel Core i5, 10600K and AMD Ryzen 5 3600 XT. Too much math. Memory, 16 gigs of RAM. Graphics card, NVIDIA RTX 3060 Ti, 8 gigs or AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT, 12 gigs. Recommended graphics setting, 1080p, low quality, low tracing. Recommended Windows 11, i7 10700K, or AMD Ryzen 7 3800 XT, 16 gigs of RAM. Graphics card, an RTX 3070 Ti, 8 gigs, or AMD Radeon 6900 XT, 16 gigs of RAM. Recommended graphics, 1080p, high quality, high ray tracing. That's it. That is it. So as always, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. Didn't like it? We already know what's going to happen. I just wanted to say this. I'm surprised. I don't know why. Usually games, I feel like they don't get updated for all that long. Has Elden Ring been out for like a year now? This may be, I don't want to speculate, maybe one of the last updates? I don't know. It's hard to say how that works. I think it changes from game to game sometimes. But this seems like a pretty meaty update. So it's nice to see. I wish they added an option to scale the difficulty of all enemies across the board, because those beginner enemies are like, you kill them in one hit. And then as you progress through the game, it gets harder. But once you're at max level and all that, or you've completed the game, whatever, I wish they had it so that everything was like the same, if that makes any sense. Whatever. Anyhow, take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.